Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco here with Jim Gatos. We are the co-founders of the Dig On series of osteopathic courses, exploring consciousness through osteopathy. And we are here with our two scholarship recipients, Carly and Nita, who attended the Sensing and Releasing Emotional Shock Part 1 course in Burlingame in August 2023. So thank you so much for being here and just wanting to share your experience and hear more about it and tell people about the scholarship as well.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Well, Carly, if you had to think about the course, was there anything in particular, or Anita too, are there any aha moments that you had, or just moments where you're like, wow, this is really incredible, is this such a neat thing to see? How expanded your sensing abilities?
I think one of the biggest takeaways for me from the course was the embryology. I had never witnessed it taught like that before in our first couple of years of med school. So getting that kind of information in a way that I could understand was really helpful. And I never thought I'd like embryology before, but
that is awesome.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, so it was taught in a very nice way where I could understand it, and I reference the uncurling of the heart all the time now.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so useful, and there's so much detail there that we're going to continue to talk about. But yeah,
for me, so I have really started my osteopathy journey within the past year. And so I'm getting all of this new information about, musculoskeletal, biomechanical, biodynamics, and then going to this course and talking about something in such a different but very similar way, and having that perspective really helped me open my eyes to this whole new world of treatment that I didn't know existed. So that for me was pretty existential, I have to say.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I'm so glad, because that's part of what I really wanted people to get out of the course, is that this is not separate from what you already know. This is fully integrated into what you're learning, and it's just really an expansion of the whole process.
Yes, and I think the way that you talked about it, that really aligned with everything that we've been learning so far. And then just tying in, it's not even something relatively new, but just a different way of looking at it. It really tied everything together for me too. And it made it so much easier, especially as a student, to, understand what you're talking about, or at least get some sort of sense of the palpatory or sensory abilities that we could tap into.
This is our first year doing the course. So you took the course the second time that we've offered it, and we'll do it a third time next month in Vancouver. And I just would love to hear more about what was it that you said that how was it different than, but still integrated with what you're learning? What about that? Are there any details or just characteristics or examples of how was it different to you?
So I guess for me and my experiences of having people talk about the health with a capital H, or being part of the C and everyone is in it together, we're all one drop of the same ocean. That aspect of osteopathy in general has always spoken to me a lot. And so for you to tie that in, but then also talking about like Carly mentioned, the uncurling and the embryonic development, and how that ties into the emotional traumas or stresses that we hold on to, and combining those ideas together really put it in such a different perspective, for me at least, to get to see sort of just a different layer of the body that I you know, we all know is there, but we can't really get a sense of, especially in another person.
Sure.
Yeah. And we always talk about mind, body, spirit with osteopathy. And I thought this was one of the courses that really dived into the spiritual aspect and the emotional aspect. And as someone interested in psych, this was a way to kind of combine OMM that I'm really interested in, and also psych. So I was really happy to be a part of that.
And those are things that the mental, emotional, spiritual, I know sometimes feel more elusive or less tangible for people. And as osteopaths, we like to be able to feel things with our hands or be able to perceive things. And with creating this course, we were hoping that it helped to make some of those dimensions feel more tangible.
Yeah, it definitely did that.
I think you succeeded there.
Oh, this is so great. It's what I've been saying for a year and a half. Like I would like to make the intuitive aspects of health more tangible. And I never knew how it was going to come to fruition until we started doing these courses. I was like, oh, we're literally making it more tangible. And
it's like when we talked about the energy field and the magnetic field of the heart compared to the brain, and being able to like think about it in that type of a way really made it more tangible for us, I think.
And I think too, as a student coming to this course, I was a little bit intimidated. I know that, you know, we always say don't put too much effort, don't try so hard, but I was still worried that I wouldn't be able to do enough. And I think the way that you both put it in perspective made me feel a lot more comfortable to explore and to try to tap into that.
Oh, that's so good to hear, because really, I feel like everyone has this in them. So I have so much confidence in everyone and their abilities. And it's just a matter of like being able to see that as well. So even if you're, it's not even if you're a student, like already as a student, you already know so much. Just as a being, you already have access to so much. And then to be able to integrate that with the osteopathic learning and the knowledge, and to weave it in a way that feels really accessible. Is there, like, you know, it's been, so we're in October now and the course was in August. In terms of like seeing patients or in the way you're practicing and learning new skills, like has it influenced the way you're looking at things or how you're approaching things, or how if and how has it?
I think one of the big things I've taken into seeing patients every week is just the importance of being grounded and like understanding myself before putting my hands on a patient. We don't get we get a decent amount of time with the patients that we see, but we're just go throughout the day, that it almost feels like we don't have that moment to just take a breath and just like get grounded before seeing our patients. So I think this has reminded me to make sure like that's a point that I make in every appointment. And it helps me be more aware of them, and to also keep my stress and my emotional stuff to myself and not project that onto my patients.
Yeah, I think I would echo that too. In one of the first exercises that is that that exercise where we were in groups of 3 and we had to be the one receiving or giving the attention. And I think that really helped me in my patient interactions, because I'm able now to figure out like where I am and who I am, what I am in this moment, and not, you know, let it get in the way of my treatment. And also just knowing that there's something else that I wasn't aware of before that is playing a part in every single one of my treatments for whoever my patients may be. I think it just makes my treatment that much more whole.
It's really beautiful. Yeah, to be able to go into the visits like that.
It's especially beautiful because it's the same thing that we do every day as well. It never stops. It's wonderful to hear you say that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the appointments are, it's a win-win-win. It's like, it feels like a healing for everyone that's there, just to be in that space, and to realize that how important your presence is for yourself first, but then for the people around you, including your patients. So, well, we're hoping to continue to offer scholarships for upcoming courses, especially this part 1 and 2 of sensing and releasing emotional shock. And I just feel like it could be a really important part of osteopathic curriculum. I mean, if they incorporated this just to have so much more access to healing. And that's kind of my vision. It's like, wow, how could what if everyone knew about this? What if most physicians knew how to look at things this way? It would be incredible. So, is there anything else that you would like to say or share in terms of the course or the scholarships?
I just want to thank you guys for making it such an awesome experience for us, being able to collaborate with everyone else who was there and talk about, you know, our lives and where we see ourselves going, where everyone's been. And just make those connections with people. Like, that's really what makes me excited about going to these courses, is just meeting everyone and getting to know people. And it's such a welcoming community. So thank you guys for being part of that.
I'm so glad you got to be there.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah. It was my first West Coast course that I've attended, and it was just so nice to, you know, see familiar faces, but also meet a lot of amazing people that I wouldn't have known were out there unless I went to this course. And just having everyone share that space and that knowledge and that passion together was just such an amazing experience for me. So thank you guys so much.
Oh, so neat to see everyone, and to even see like how things like shifted from the beginning of the first day to like the second day. Just, I felt like everyone was glowing that second day when we took the picture. Oh, I was like, oh, such a beautiful picture, and I really just loved everyone that came. And so to be able to connect with everyone on that level where you just, it's such a feel-good space and place to meet and to be able to have these kinds of discussions.
Yes, that was interesting to see how it felt going into the course. And then by the end of the second day, the room was different. And there was a different feeling in the air with the labs. And it was just so encouraging that the way that Arlene especially is approaching it, that it's not intellectual, that it's really using your intuitive self and feeling your way, and with little guidance and finding that place in your patient where you can help them. And it was just encouraging to see this group move through it. So we didn't have students at the last course, our original one. So this was really special to have you there. To see that really anybody can do this. Not that students are just anybody, but you know, we get ingrained in thinking that we need all these academic degrees to be able to do this, and it has very little to do with it at all. It's just being human.
Yeah. So. And people will be able to incorporate it even at all different levels. So it's not intellectual. At the same time, it's not completely disregarding like everything that you've learned. I mean, it's actually just incorporating all of you, like your knowledge of anatomy, physiology, embryology, but then also your understanding of yourself as a being. So it gives so much more purpose to that knowledge. And I think that that's part of how we would like to feel with osteopathy is to be able to feel the anatomy, the embryology. It's not meant to be just cognitive. It's meant to be infused into our knowing and understanding as beings, so that we can and connect and heal at a deeper level. So, well, we appreciate you hopping on here for this conversation. And gosh, I mean, keep us posted, because we're always interested in how it continues to unfold, because the process is started. And then as you learn other things, you actually learn other ways to approach it and actually use the information and the concepts and infuse them into like other things that you're learning. So we had people from the January course, and we're hearing about that now. So we're not quite a year out, but just hearing about like, oh, then how they applied it in this situation and that situation. So different circumstances that we didn't necessarily go over, but that's what I love is like creating this art and studying an art, and then you get to use it in your way. So it becomes like somewhat unique to how it feels good for you to use. So it's like we could all learn how to paint with watercolors and know all the different colors and study color and the strokes and everything. But if everyone created a picture, it would be completely different. And it's not that one is better than another, but it's just like a way for us to express our unique gifts, our unique essences, which are just that unique emanation of the stillness. And that's where Dr. Still osteopathy originated. So from the stillness, I guess it was always there. It's always there.
Yes, it's really providing authentic care that's unique to that person in that moment.
Yeah, and I would say too that aside from just my treatments, I feel like I'm using what I learned also just in conversations with people, my interactions with people, to help me be present and hold space for them, whether my hands are on them or not. So it's been, like I said, existential.
Oh gosh, that's so amazing. That's really great to hear. That, I mean, it's just like all these things that we had imagined for what the course could help with, but now we're getting to hear like all the different ways, and I love how it's like these are concepts and these are expressions of our being, and they're not techniques, because you can use them with anything else, and that's why you're able to use it at any level of your journey as an osteopath and any level of your experience.
It's, as you say, Arlene, when you work with the stillness, it's always more than you could imagine. There's something about that.
You leave room for miracles, because miracles are what you don't understand.
Yes.
So, well, with that, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see all of you soon. And I hope everyone watching has enjoyed this dialogue and conversation. If you have any questions on the Dig On series or sensing and releasing emotional shock, then please let us know. You can email us at thedigonseries@gmail.com. You can go to our website, thedigonseries.com. And we actually have part 2 of Sensing and Releasing Emotional Shock coming up in January. So that's going to be in Georgia. So in case you all are around and available, that'll be really fun, because we're going to expand on what we went over in part 1 and start to look at for the embryology. We're going to look at Chapman's points and emotions and how that can help you with emotional releases. We're going to look at generational trauma. We're going to look at the mitochondria and how you can tap into that maternal lineage. So, and the maternal lineage of the emotional body and any generational trauma. So there's so much more that we are going to be going over, and we'll just keep going. So thanks for being here.
It's going to be a wonderful course. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Carly, Nita, thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course, happy to do it.
Mm-hmm.